Tracie, what's going to happen on October 20th?
Well, you know, we took a survey and we asked everyone, would you like us to keep going live? And we were talking about trying to do that once a month. So we're going to go for October 20th, crossing our fingers that still works when October 20th rolls around. But yeah, that's our goal. That's our intention, to go live at 5 p.m. Pacific time so everybody else gets to figure out their time zones, and go live with another round of Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a perfect time with Halloween right around the corner.
We can make it a costume party.
Ooh, which going to be?
I was thinking about coming as an Arcturian.
With your
I don't
background?
know. Maybe I should dress up like a little gypsy or something and do card readings. No, you guys see me do that every week too. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
I'm going to have to think about that too. For your suggestions, not saying that it might happen, but comment below. See what give us some ideas.
Yeah, we need some costume ideas, and make them PG-13.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, tell us what you think Tracie should be dressed up as.
Yeah, that doesn't mean any of it's going to happen, but yeah. Okay. So that's my announcement. Nothing else is really coming up right now. So there's that.
Perfect. And for the playlist on YouTube, I was telling Tracie that we hit 50 videos of Tracie channeling Daniel the Arcturian. So there's a whole playlist, and it's called Channeling by Tracie Mahan. So go check it out. We're at 50 videos. Technically, we're missing one, but that's another story.
We feel robbed.
Yeah, that was a boo-boo. It's going to be 7 p.m. my time, Central.
7 p.m. Central.
And then
8 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern time. So make a note. October 20th.
Yeah. And we don't know what time it is for Chris in Australia.
Chris, he has it.
He's got it figured out.
He knows how to work it out.
Yeah.
I think he said it was 11 o'clock his time. 11 or 2 o'clock. It was something like that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's a day ahead.
Very, very early in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a trooper. He gets up when, if we made it 2 a.m. his time, he would show up. Because he's that guy. He's awesome.
Gets a thumbs up.
All right. I guess that's it. Should I get Daniel?
Yeah, get Daniel for this October season that's coming up.
Starting October.
October energy we're going to get.
Yeah, Twilight Zone music or something. Yeah, let's get all like into the, what do they call it? All Souls Eve and all the woo-woo stuff. So I'll go get Daniel. We'll see what we can get out of him about ghosts and goblins. And maybe even jack-o'-lanterns. Who knows?
That's right.
Okay.
Interesting. I look forward to it.
Okay. And we are here, and it has been a while, hasn't it? We haven't been chit-chatting with you as much lately, Jason. So we send out our hellos and our greetings to you. It's good to see you again.
Same here. Thank you very much, Daniel. How have you been doing?
Things have been wonderful here. Lots of changes in the air, as everyone could probably agree. And we have lots of things happening in the sky right now. So if you were to pay attention, we know that we've had these conversations with everyone before where we say, look up, look up, look up. And right now we've got a lot of things going on where things have been on fire, and they are now starting to clear up a little bit, but there is still a little bit of the residue of the fires going on. But we want to say to you, if you were to step outside and you were to just feel the energy of what is going on with the earth and with the planet and with the sky and the air, you will notice a little bit of difference. And we say this to you because we want you to notice that there are There is a resistance in the air. And what do we mean by that? We mean when you go outside and you're standing out in the open, you can feel that open air energy. But if you were to go outside now, in a lot of locations where most of you listeners are, if you were to go outside, you would feel as if there is a roof over you, just like you feel when you are indoors. It does not feel wide open. It does not feel open airy. And for those of you who notice that, we do want you to please comment below to acknowledge that that is something that you have been experiencing. But that is because we have these beautiful little ships, not little, gigantic ships of all the collective of galaxies around to be over you right now, as there's a lot of planetary shifts going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of energy circulating. We know you're going to ask us, why are the ships here, Daniel? And so we
Read
want
my
to
mind.
we like to read your mind, Jason. It is a fascinating place to be. And so what we want to say with all of these ships that are around the planet, around the globe right now, what we want to say to you is some of those are ships that are sending in the troops, so to speak. And what does that mean? What does that mean to send in the troops? It means that there is a lot of energetic beings moving in right now. A lot of you are stepping into your channeling. A lot of you are stepping into your own personal selves and being more authentic, more true than ever before in your lives. And you are seeing more and more people waking up, more and more people asking questions, more and more people less willing to tolerate that which is going on around them, rather that be in their own personal lives or in their governments or whatever it might be. And so when we say we're sending in the troops, we mean we have more people opening up to their ability to channel, their ability to bring in information, their ability to be outspoken about it. And so there is a lot of that energy coming in right now. We also have a lot of energy with those who have been working with the child trafficking, as we have talked about that before as well in other shows that we have done. So if people want to know more about that, go look for the other videos. We do not need to recap that, but we do want you to know that there is energy that is sweeping through, that is moving out old energy. What happens is energy imprints are being left and stamped into this earth that you live on. And we are coming in to clear out those energy imprints, the energy of fear and stagnation and all of those different things that are happening in the planet are now moving. You will notice that September has already started this ball rolling, and October will continue the ball rolling of cleaning house, so to speak, cleaning, moving energy, getting energy out. That which needs to surface is coming up very hard, very strong, very, very swiftly, and it is also moving out in that same manner. A lot of people are going through divorces right now. A lot of people are going through separations right now. A lot of people are going through family turmoil right now. Things are getting worked out. Things that cannot stay hidden, cannot be secrets, cannot be tolerated anymore are now starting to work their way to the surface, like little volcanoes going off everywhere. And so this is the opportunity for these collectives to come in through the channels, through the physical beings that are allowing for that to happen, and move the energy through to clear this energy out, to take this energy from the earth, shake it up into little pieces, and then clear it out through the vibrations and the frequencies of the higher realms to move this energy off the planet and help it to move into a smoother, more gentle, more ease of a place to be in their own lives. And so for each of you that is listening right now, you are probably a conduit for some of this energy to be swept away, to be cleared away, to be opened up, and for more of the beautiful higher frequencies to come in, to be sustainable, and to be maintained by those of you who are now in high practice of maintaining that high frequency. We talked a lot, we talked fast. Is there any questions, Jason?
No, that was pretty good. That was very good. Is there anything else you would like to share on that topic before moving forward?
We do have some of the energy of the crystal children coming in as well. The hybrid children, the ones that a lot of the listeners have been told that they are parents or DNA matches to these hybrid children. and rather to be your eggs or sperm have been harvested for these children, or you have even incubated them within your own body at times and for a spell of that time so that they could get the true essence of the human form as they were in their developmental stages. A lot of the energy of the hybrid children, there are some of them starting to come in now into the earth realm. They are being planted like seeds, one might say. They are the ones who have reached their adulthood and have gone through their training are now being brought into the earth realm, and they are being moved throughout the globe, placed in specific places to also help to orchestrate and to bring in this divine energy that is going on with the shift at this time, the shift into the higher frequencies. And one might say, well, how do these hybrid children get to be on the earth when these other galactic councils cannot come down to the earth? And it is because it is their birthright as being host to a earth mother or an earth father. They have, just if you had a parent that belonged to another country and you could get dual citizenship, maybe that is how we should say it. The hybrid children have dual citizenship. They can be on their other planets and they can be on the earth planet because they have a birthright as a earth or a human being with the human DNA. And so one might say we found some loopholes, yes, and we are now moving in our first knowledgeably our first round of crystal, we call them crystal children, moving in the hybrid children with the crystalline energy to bring in that frequency at a stronger rate in the earth right now. So what will that do for you? Well, what we say for you is if you are acclimating to the energy and to the frequencies and you find yourself moving through mood swings and different symptoms of the ascension, then that could be why that is happening for you again. Palpitations of the heart, you might be finding yourself feeling a little anxious at times because the energy is high in vibration. You might be finding yourself, one might think they're in menopause. That is what Tracie is saying. You might find yourself in sweats. You might breaking out in a sweat or having hot flashes, as one might say, but you might also be finding yourself feeling euphoria. You might feel yourself going into a place of peace and calm and knowing everything will be okay. You could have a lot of different reactions to it. So what we would suggest to you is if you are having some sort of symptoms or you are going through something at this time and you cannot pinpoint why that is happening, or you have symptoms of the physical body, then we might suggest you go find yourself one of the websites that can describe those symptoms for you and help you to understand why you are going through them. There are a lot of people that complain that they have gained weight again, or that they are holding weight and can't get rid of it. And that is also, again, one of the ways that the body holds on to the frequencies and moves the frequencies, and much easier as they are a very high frequency. And if you are not acclimated to those yet, then your body may bring in another layer of fat tissue to be a conduit of that energy. What are some other things we could talk about with that? Third eyes are opening up, ear canals, the auditory and the knowingness, all the sensories are starting to open up. Some of you have already been knowingly working on this, and some of you are about to learn that you're working on it today. And what we want to say to you is there is a large group of you that have been working on your extrasensory abilities to feel, sense, hear, know. And you are very much aware of your surroundings. And you are also in what one might call the intuitive boot camp, where you have learned how to process the energy in a way that it does not stick to you. Like in the past, when an empath would feel feelings, then they would go home and they would still have the heavy feelings. They would still feel depressed because they were around somebody who was depressed. Everyone's exchanging all of these heavy emotions. Now you have learned the skills, the tools to filter through that, recognize it is not yours, and go home and still be in a good mood even after you've been around somebody who has been grumpy or depressed or struggling with something all day. You've been able to be of assistance to them, but that did not leave you with carrying that frequency as you left their frequency. And so a lot of people are learning that skill, learning that gift to be there, to be the conduit of information for another, to help them, to assist them, to guide them and direct them, but not to carry it for them, and to move them into a better experience for themselves so that they may be able to move forward and create more of the life that they desire, the life that they want, which is creating, again, more joy in the world, which then has a ripple effect. And it is a good thing. So those are some of the things we could share with you right now, some of the updates of the Earth and what's going on with the Earth. Any questions around that, Jason?
Yeah, I would like to circle back to the crystal children. Are they walking among us, or is this something in the future?
They are walking among you right now, but the ones that are here are already adults. You will not, you most likely will not recognize them unless you are identifying them through their energy frequencies, being able to sense that they have a high vibrational output around them. But they are not going to be in the child form. They have grown into adults. So this is one of the, we have done this before where we have infused a few of the children, the hybrid children, in with the human race. This is not a first time, but this is the largest group that we have integrated into the Earth realm. And so there are quite a few among you right now, and they have assignments. They know what they're going to be doing, and they know how to anchor the energy. And like many of you who are waking up and learning that you are doing those things, they have been trained their entire lives to do it. And so they will be coming in and be showing themselves to a lot of people as teachers, or maybe a yoga instructor or an energy worker of sorts. They have been placed in assignments all around the world. And so if you're finding somebody who is quite advanced spiritually and yet they seem so young, you may possibly be running into one of those hybrid children. So do keep your eyes out. We promise you they are among you. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You mentioned that some of the adults have assignments. Do you have, like, you can give us a rundown of their purpose for the crystal children?
Yes, a lot of them are anchoring in energy all over the planet to bring in, right now, as we were saying, the ships above are helping to harness some of this energy that is coming into the planet right now. There has been such a large shift with the COVID. We know a lot of you have been very disgruntled over the COVID and all the political stuff, the COVID restrictions and everything that's going on that's made you change your world, and it's upside down, and everything has gone to chaos. Yes, but yet everybody is finding their way through it and finding a way to still enjoy their lives and move into different environments. These children, as we call them children, but yes, they truly are adults at this point. These hybrid adults that are going to be among you, they will become the natural counselors. They will become those ones that are stepping into leadership roles all around the world, that are stepping into positions that could be useful and helpful, rather that be in government, rather that be in teaching facilities, rather it is across the board. It is really too many positions to truly paint the picture for you. It is everywhere. And they will be in everything, because we need to reach people at all levels. We need to reach those who are in the government. We need to reach those who are in banking. We need to reach those who are working in the factories. We need to reach those who, you get the picture. We need to reach everyone. So they really are moving into all of those facilities, and they are knowingly planting seeds, and they have these abilities. They are very telepathic, and they are going to be able to move thoughts into your mind. That we don't want to make it sound like they are manipulating the mind. This is all within free will. They are honoring the free will. They are putting out the suggestion. They are putting out the frequency. Think of it like prayer. When you pray for somebody that you love, you are setting an intention for something good to happen for that person that you love, but they have the free will to accept the prayer or not to accept the prayer. And it is much like that. They can put the energy out into the auric fields, and then it is up to you whether or not you take that energy in, you take the suggestion in, you move forward with that. And so it is not a violation of the free will. It is just a stronger frequency to be grabbed onto by everyone else that is around them. And we do suggest, if you feel it, grab on, see what that does for you, see how it raises your frequency, see what level it puts you into. There is a whole new level of information that is being released to the community. For those of you who are ready to grab hold of this new information, it is the next level. As you know, we cannot just always be at this level. We always got to get to the next level. And we have had enough people get to the ceiling, so to speak, of information, that it is time to release the next level of information to the masses. And so for those of you who have been doing your studies, who have been doing your prayers, your meditations, your leveling up, your activations, you are ready for that next level. And that is why we bring it up for you today, because it is out there, it is ready for you, and you are ready for it. If you are listening to this, we are talking to you. And so we want you to just put your mind and your intention on finding the next level of information. And how does that work for you? What is it what possibly is it that you are going to be doing with this next level of information for yourself? And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have an assignment with that, but in your heart you will know if you are meant to do something with it, share it, express it in some way, bring it out to the world. Whatever it is that you feel pulled to do with it, that is exactly what you are supposed to do with it. And there is no wrong way to share the information. And even if you are disgruntled about it and you're griping about it, you're sharing the information and somebody else is hearing it, and maybe they'll go explore it for themselves. And so we say there is no wrong way to share it to the world. So lots of things going on, and what may feel like a very intense time for everyone. This is also going to be one of Tracie's favorite times. Mercury retrograde is going to be happening in October. You are already in the shadow of that Mercury. She's the one in the mind right now saying, all of this is going on during a Mercury retrograde. Are you kidding me? And so we figured we might as well talk about that, since that is the thought that is milling through her little head here. And so yes, you are going to go into a reflective time, a recap, a redo, a revisit. And what a perfect time for you to have new information to integrate into that. When you're revisiting something, now you'll see it from a different perspective. You'll get a higher view. You'll be looking at it from a whole new angle, and it'll be easier to release and let it go. And so it is the perfect time for you to be hit with all this energy, as all this stuff is rehashing, resurfacing. That doesn't mean that it's all bad. Some things that are coming up to surface are very good, and they are opening up new doors of opportunity for you as you are revisiting ideas, you are revisiting your dreams, your inspirations. Those are things that could be revisited, and doors can open for you in that arena as well. So we don't want you to think of any of this as a negative thing. It is a time to move. It is a time to heal. It is a time to relax and integrate, and maybe become that introvert for a time being, to self-examine and heal anything that may surface for you. But by all means, you better be ready when those gates open, because you are going to fly forward. And some of you will be slingshotted, some of you will be pushed, some of you will just naturally want to move forward on your own. And so the doors will be opening. October is going to be a very intense time. That will move into November, but we say by December, we would like for many of you to be ready. And there is an event in December. This is what a lot of people are starting to refer to in the astrological circle of things, and that is December 21st. And there is a lot of things going on astrologically for that time. And as you move through the energies and move into the winter months of December, you are going to find a whole new energy and frequencies. Doors are opening, things are happening, life is changing once again, and the world will adjust to it. And we think this time that it will roll forward a little bit easier, a little bit smoother than when you got hit with the COVID, and when you got hit with all the fires, and you got hit with all the things going on around the world that have been disruptive and catastrophic. We do feel like there is a much more smoother ride for you after the middle of December. And so be looking forward to that. And as we all set our minds to that, we will create it as well, right? As we all come together as a collective, knowing that we are pushing forward to something beautiful to bring us into the new year of 2021. And can you believe we're even saying that already? Something such a phrase to say, the new year of 2021. Doesn't it feel like we just started this year? But
Yeah.
this is the year of the clear vision, yes? And how many of you are getting very clear about your life, clear about your relationships, clear about your jobs, if you even have a job anymore with all the COVID and upheavals, and just getting really clear about the direction you need to go. And if that hasn't happened yet, it is happening. And Jason, have you been finding your clarity in this time?
You got to be a little bit more specific on clarity, because it depends on what topic we're talking about.
Well, if you were to think about your work life, do you feel like you have more direction, more clarity, more movement forward with what you would like to do in your career?
I will have to say yes for the most part, because I think things are falling into place and things are getting clearer, and the path is getting more well known of what do I need to do going forward, and also going into the future, what to do. Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes. There's some clarity. It's still a little fuzzy, but it's getting
well,
clear.
and it's not going to get completely clear for a little while. You're going to be reflecting. You're going to be resurfacing some things that were from the past, whether those are good, bad, or ugly. They are going to come surface, and you get to play with that.
Yes.
But that is part of what brings you into knowing what direction to take from there. And some people are dealing with health issues. Some people are dealing with relationship issues. Some people are dealing with relocating. Some people are dealing with, and the list goes on, and with the children, with home, with everything. And all of that is coming to surface for a reason. There is a reason why these things are bubbling up to the surface. And right now you are in it, you are in the thick of it. You probably have no clue, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why am I going through this? But we tell you, once the dust settles and you are able to sweep it away, you will have clarity on where it was taking you, what it is you were designing for your life. And we do say you were designing for your life when all of this happened, because you are the one that set this course in action so that you can get to the place that this is pushing you to go. So it is self-induced, and you'll be happy that you did it when you find out why. But maybe when you're in it, it may not be so fun for you. So we will stop talking for a moment and let you ask some questions.
Yeah, there was a ton of information that was thrown my way. So where to begin? So I would say you mentioned a third eye, and I would like to get a little bit more information with the third eye opening up, if there's anything you can share about that topic.
Well, we like to talk about the third eye because a lot of people, sometimes they want to see things with their physical eyes, and we need you to know it is the imagination that we are speaking of when we talk about the third eye. This is a part of the mind that you dream with. This is the part of the mind that shows you the pictures when you're daydreaming and thinking about all these things, blah, blah, blah. But when we refer to the third eye, we are not physically seeing anything with your eyeballs. You are seeing it in the mind. And sometimes that can come as a flash. Sometimes that can just come as a knowing of what that picture looks like. And we like to give you examples. If you drive a car, picture your car in your mind. And Tracie drives a blue car, and it's got 4 doors, and she says, and I'm probably at the point where I need to rotate the tires. You know, there's things that you know about your vehicle, things that you see in the inside. It's an automatic. It's got wood paneling on the dashboard. It's got a digital readout for the mileage, and you know, the little details. And every time she thinks of a detail, she gets a flash of a picture of that car. And so these are the kinds of things that are being worked on right now. Now, here's the exciting part about what's happening with the third eye. These are all earth dimensional things that we are talking about, but you are going to start seeing things from other dimensions. and you're going to start knowing. So let's say you look off into a direction and you thought you caught something out of the corner of your eye, right? And you talked about that a little bit with Tracie earlier, Jason.
You
And
sure did.
and you're going to be able to tell, is this something from the earth dimension or is this something from another dimension? And you referred to it as shadow people.
Yes.
And we want to talk about that. That we got excited when you brought that topic of the shadow people up. And there may be different varieties or versions or explanations of a shadow people. So if you have one that resonates with you, please just hold on to your own version of what a shadow person is. But when we heard you speaking of this conversation, what we were excited about is people are starting to see energies from other dimensions that exist and coexist with you on this planet. So when they're seeing something out of the corner of their eye, this is not what one would call a ghost or somebody, a soul that is stuck in the void or the in-between worlds. This is somebody that is living a life and an experience in a physical body in another realm of your earth, much like a fairy realm is a whole nother realm on your planet that just resonates at a different frequency and has its own experiences, its own existence, but it is existing in the same planetary position as you. And this is what people are starting to see. They're starting to see into these other dimensions. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, that means that you are getting closer and closer to that veil that separates you from the fifth dimension. And so as people are starting to now navigate through that, they're starting to see things that they didn't see before. Was that building there yesterday? That's weird. I don't remember that building before. And I don't remember this thing over here either. And this relationship, why am I having a hard time remembering this guy's name that was our neighbor 6 years ago? Because that's fading out and something new is coming in. And so your memories of these old things are starting to fade out with it because you do not need them. You are not losing your mind. You are just changing into another dimension where you do not need these old memories anymore. You are stepping into something new. You are living in the moment. You are being more aware of what is happening in the present moment and seeking that future of a higher vibration. And you're releasing those energies from the past that no longer resonate with that frequency. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's say you have a childhood memory where you remember being a little bit traumatized by something. Maybe you got told no and you cried and cried and cried until you fell asleep. And as you raise your vibration out of fear, out of sadness, out of hurt, out of disappointment, as you keep raising your vibration out of that, you're going to completely forget that memory. It no longer resonates at the frequency you are at, and it's no longer going to be part of your cellular memory and your makeup. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that is happening all around you with all types of things that have happened throughout your life. And you'll find yourself saying, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. So-and-so was talking about this event and they said I was there and I don't remember that. Well, maybe that wasn't the same experience for you and you are no longer a vibrational match to that experience, and so it fell away. And so for those of you that I can see wiping your foreheads right now going, I'm not going insane, you are right. You are just raising your frequency out of the frequency that held those memories.
Wow.
So that is what we're talking about. With the third eye, you are moving into another reality where you will be able to start to see some other dimensions. And it is just getting started. This is not an overnight thing, but you will start noticing them. And the more you notice it, the more clear it starts to get. The less you fear it, the less you get spooked by it. And the more you start accepting it, becoming curious about it, becoming aware of it, the more you will start to see it. The more it will become a continual part of your reality.
Wow. Very, very interesting. So the shadow people that we call, these are individuals, they're not ghosts. They're individuals that are stuck, not stuck, but they're in between dimensions.
They are experiencing life in another dimension, and your veil is thin enough that you can now see glimpses of them.
Okay.
You fit in and out of that dimension with them.
Do you happen to know what dimension they are in?
They're in the fourth and fifth dimension, where they will pop in and out on you. It could even be acquaintances of yours, that people that you haven't seen for a long time, who have been working on raising their vibration, their frequency. And maybe this could be somebody that you even live with. Now that we are really going to get into this could just be somebody that has really been working on raising their vibration, and you thought they went to the grocery store and they're still sitting in the living room, and you catch a glimpse of their energy, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're home, and you'll be like, that's so weird, I thought I saw you in the living room earlier, and here they were sitting in the living room meditating the whole time, and they were never actually gone. You know what we're trying to say. But people that are raising their vibration are starting to fade in and out and phase. Their bodies are starting to pixelate, they're starting to move their energy into a different vibration. And those that are not quite there yet, but getting close, are starting to see that fade in and out, fade in and out. And so there's a lot of things going on at the same time, and a lot of energy that is really at play right now on the earth. And so you've got a lot of these dimensions are all working at raising the frequencies together and intermixing at the same time and overlapping. And what do they call that when those walls of dimensions start to crash into each other? And that's kind of what's happening here. Is you got
Collapsing?
dimension moving into the third dimension is moving into the fourth dimension, knocking it into the fifth dimension, and they're all in this flux and this wave and bumping into each other. And so you might be catching that moment when they bump into each other and you see something. Hopefully that makes sense.
Interesting. I like how we threw in the third eye conversation leading up to the shadow people, because I'm like, ooh, how are we gonna just change the topics on this one? But I like how you tied it all in, because
we brought like, it for you, yes.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe we'll just save that question for next week. So that's interesting. Very, very interesting.
And isn't it interesting how they all tie into each other? And you were talking about that earlier with no clue that we would go this direction with you.
Yes. And the only reason why I brought it up is because me and Karen has been watching a show on TV called Paranormal Activity. And that's one of the topics they talked about. And it was new information for me, and, and it felt like everyone else knew about it, but, on TV, but I didn't know nothing about it. So with it being October, I figured that'd be a great topic to bring up.
Yes. Well, and that is, again, we want to say, everyone, go with the version of it that resonates with you. If that version resonates with you, by all means, play with it and enjoy it. If another version of what you're hearing resonates with you, then, there is no wrong answer to that. What is a shadow person? It is just your interpretation of it and what you want to do with it.
Right. And it does feel like they're different from ghosts, from what it seems like. It's not like your typical type.
A ghost is someone that does not have a physical body, that has also not gone into the light, has not fully transitioned. They are still stuck and bound by free will, and they are in what one might refer to as the void, or the place between places. They have stayed in the earth realm, and they are very aware of you, even though you cannot see them. And some of them have figured out how to use the energy, the electricity in the air and in your electronics to signal you, to let you know that they are around, and even to spook you or to move your objects around as well. Some of them can be quite crafty. Some of them can be quite innocent. A lot of them feared what was beyond for them when they left their physical bodies. They feared that they might go to hell because that's what they were told. And
that's true.
So there are a lot of mischievous souls out there that are afraid to go into the light because they think they're going to go to hell. And then there's the ones that don't know they're dead, and that they are still walking around in a daze and confused, and they do not understand that they are no longer in a body. One of the things that people don't always understand about the ghost or the soul is that it could be 30 years later, and to that soul that is bumping around in your house, it is still the day that they crossed over and left their body. It isn't 30 years later for them. They are
Mm.
still in that moment that they had just crossed over. Time stands still in those dimensions. It does not move like it does in the earth realm. And so there are many times where one might find 30, 40, 50 years later that their loved one hasn't crossed over, and when they go see a psychic or something of that nature, and they help to cross them over, and they experience sadness because they think, oh my gosh, for 50 years they have been stuck in this void. We want you to rest assured they did not get stuck in the void. For them, it was the same day that they had left their bodies. And so it defies time when you are out of the body. And so not to worry, the soul did not wander around for 50 years wondering where they need to go. They are just stuck in that pattern of that day, and they know no different. So
Mm.
any
Very,
other
very.
questions about the ghosts?
Uh, uh, we could probably talk about this all night.
We could.
um,
There are the ones that know that they are out of body, and they do create the mischief, and they do enjoy spooking the humans, and they do have fun with it. And most of them are playful. Most of them are doing it just to be a little mischievous, and because they're bored. And they will move the pictures on your wall, and they will hide your keys, and they will do things around the house to get your attention. They'll flicker the
right.
lights and so on.
Here's an interesting question. With the transitioning of the Earth, the 4D, 5D situation. So, what happens to the ghosts and shadow people? What happens with them?
Well, the shadow people are just like you, and they are on their path in their dimension. They're
Okay.
you could be a shadow person to somebody. You may appear as a shadow person to somebody from another dimension. So that is the answer for the shadow people. They are in their bodies doing their thing, having their experiences. What is happening with the ghosts? They will eventually they find their way. You have all had an experience as a ghost, being stuck in between for a time, and it is part of the experience of being a soul. And so eventually that does end. There comes a time where the soul will cross over. A lot of times, one of the reasons that there are ceremonies for people when they cross out of the body is because the congregation, the family, the loved ones are calling in the angels, calling in God, calling in Source to collect their loved one and bring them into the light. And in generations and civilizations before you, sometimes the souls would collect in pyramids, and there would be a ceremony that would happen on certain days, maybe the solstice, where the souls would be collected and brought into the light. There is a lot of different ways for this to happen, and for the belief system of the person. If you believe that you're going to sit in darkness until a certain time frame passes, then you will sit in darkness for that. So it is whatever you believe that brings in that experience. If you believe you're going to leave your body right now and go straight to the light, that's what you're going to do. If you designed it for yourself to do it that way, that's what you will do. Depends on what you have assigned yourself or contracted yourself to do for this lifetime, and how you will transition. And so there is a lot of information that can go with that, and it again falls into that convoluted, many layers to this. There's not just one easy answer, and there's many
Right.
different belief systems, and all of them are right, all of them are true, and all of them get experienced.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, we have a few minutes left. I don't know if there's anything else you would like to add with this
Mm.
conversation, or if you wanted to share anything with the YouTube or group collective.
Yes, let's scan the collective. Let's bring in their energy, their beautiful energy, and see what it is that we want to share with them today. There are a lot of you with a very bright spark, ready to get started, ready to move forward, excited about the future. And you should be, because there is a beautiful future waiting for all of you. We cannot say it enough that you are creating that reality. So keep on creating from that space in the heart that shines bright. There are some of you that feel that spark of light and ready to move forward, but you have loved ones around you that are not quite there yet. And so you are stopping yourself from your own beautiful future because you are trying to wait for those around you to catch up. And we say to you, that is only hurting one person, and that person is you. And so please allow yourself that future that you dream of, allow yourself to move forward, allow yourself to set yourself free. And you're never separated from those that you love. You're always in truth connected. And so we don't want you to hold yourself back for the loved one that you think is falling behind or that has not quite made it where you are at. You need to continue to move forward. You are not doing anyone any favors by standing still. What if you found out later that that loved one you were waiting for needed to see you make it to the next level before they were going to figure it out? And if you stayed back waiting for them, you never made it to that next level, they never figure it out. So it is important for you to stay true to yourself, to move forward for yourself, and to keep on doing the things, following your heart and following your abundance and following your joy, and keep on that path, because even if it feels like you're leaving someone behind, what you're really doing is you are leaving the breadcrumbs for them to follow. And it is very important for you to keep on that path. And we know that we are speaking to more than one person right now that is listening. There are several of you that are holding yourself back in whatever it is that you are meant to be doing on this planet right now, because you are waiting for someone else to catch up, or you do not want to leave someone behind. And so we really ask you to think about that and to allow yourself to consider moving forward, even if it means you temporarily leave somebody you love behind, because it is very important for the collective, for not just the collective, but for your own growth and your own evolution to move forward. We're still looking to see if there's anything else. There's a lot of people right now bringing in the yellow or gold energy into the planet. That energy is bringing in not just the intellect and the ability to heighten your information, your activity of the mind, bringing you into new heights, bringing you into that third eye, as we spoke of before, where you're going to see other dimensions. You're going to get information that is coming from higher realms than you have received before. Everyone on this planet has had a limit to how high they have gone in these realms to get their information. But as you keep raising your vibration, you keep raising the bar to where you can get your information from. There are several of you that need to sit down and write a book. It is time for you to start the writing. And if you had that question on your mind when you were watching this show or through this week, you keep thinking, I wonder if I should write a book. This is your sign. Yes, you are supposed to write the book. Sit down, write the book. It is time for you to do that now. It is time for you to bring that information forward. It is time for you to be the channel and the conduit for the information. Some of you are bringing in the next level of information. So how is everybody else supposed to get it if you're not sitting down and writing your book? So it is time for you to get busy. And we say that with the kindest love in our hearts, that we are ready for you to be ready to write this, and we are ready to transmit information to you that possibly has never been seen on this planet before. So how exciting is that? It's time to step into that. And you might be a little bit afraid to introduce it to the world. You might be a little bit afraid to say, oh my goodness, this is really out there. I don't think I want to be the one to present that. But we say to you, what if Dolores Cannon said that? What if Brian Weiss said that? What if the people that were bringing in the next level of information with past lives and with Nostradamus and with all these different levels of information that we are all moving forward on now and seeing it all fall into place? If they had not done that, where would we be today? We would not have had the information to take it to the next level. So we need you. We need you to come forward with that task that you've been putting off. It is time. And we want to just keep saying that. It is time. Now is the time. Sit down with it. Do it. It is time. If you are listening to this and that was your message, it is time. Whatever it is that you've been procrastinating on, it is time to do it. And do it with joy in your heart. Don't do it like a task. Do it like a privilege. It is a beautiful time to be alive. It is a beautiful time to be the channel of information. We say to you again, what if those who had written the scriptures in the Bible hadn't channeled in that information? What if they would not have submitted that? There would have never been the Bible to base all of these spiritual truths on. And we know that the Bible has been misconstrued through religions and different things of that nature, but there is a lot of very good information in the Bible. And that is our first evidence of people moving into channeling information, of channeling in stories, of channeling in the next level of the future of what it is that we are building our foundations on. And so we say to you again, it is your turn to bring in that next level. It is your turn to bring in that next layer of the foundation that we will stand on as a society, as a collective. It is time. You are ready. And some of the, oh, this is interesting. Some of the beautiful beings that we spoke of, some of the hybrid children are listening. They are listening to this show. And so we want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for being here. You know who you are. And we appreciate you. We all have worked together to get here, haven't we? Because without the human interaction, the human DNA, we would not have been able to create this opportunity with the hybrid children. So gratitude to all. And for some of you, you are the parent of this hybrid child that is listening. And so we thank you for your service as well. There's so much going on here, lots of energy in this show today. And we hope that everyone has been able to experience the energy, pull in the high vibration, and really see the expansiveness and the opportunities that are being offered to the planet at this time and the people that are on it. And step out of the chaos, step out of the fear, step out of the anger, the hurts, the pains, rise above it, become part of the bigger picture, become part of that expansion, become part of the source energy, and look at it through those eyes to see what it is that you are meant to be doing as you move forward. And that will help you to bring in the clarity as you look for your next right step. And with that, Jason, we will hand it back to you. Is there anything else that you would like to speak about?
No, that's it. That was a ton of information. So it seems like it's a few weeks built up of information just all splattered out.
This is what happens when Tracie gets distracted with projects. We have to wait to share and share and share. So we talk fast and we give you a lot. So
Perfect.
We thank everyone for being here and for enjoying the show with us today and bringing the energy forward.
Perfect.
Well, if that is it, we will go ahead and bring Tracie back in. She's going to be shaking her fist at us because we can feel her throat getting a little bit raw from all of our talking. So,
yep.
Thank you, Jason,
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
us. We thank you to the collective, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of energy. I'm going to sleep.
Like it just all spilt out.
I know. Here we're like, hey, what are we going to talk about? Maybe we can talk about Halloween or something.
Yeah, I love it how it all came together.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm like, well, I guess we can't talk about the two things we talked about earlier, those two topics. I was like, we'll get it next week.
We got it in there. Yeah.
It all connected, it all circled around. That whole third.
Well, and it all seemed relevant too, you know, what is a ghost or what is a shadow person, and the third eye being activated into seeing that shadow person, you know, getting in that energy. Very cool.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So I'm glad that thought came to my mind right before we were about to go live.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that was making sense to me is they were showing like dimensions, and I know I've seen this on TV before where they show the dimensions like this wavering wall of energy, and then you got the 3D, the 4D, and then they clap into each other, and that's when you're seeing that. And like,
Mm,
what was that? What was that? Or if you're a fourth dimensional being and you got the fifth dimension and you're colliding with it. Or your fifth dimension seeing fourth dimension. I mean, but what you're seeing is that collision of the dimensions coming together in that moment.
right.
Now, we're not ready to see that. We're not seeing it. And it's probably been happening all the time, everywhere, you know, where those energies come together. And if you're in the right place, you're going to see something with that. So that
Right.
was interesting for me to see that in my mind, how that was working. But,
Right.
yeah.
Did you see any shadow people in your example?
You know, I think I see shadow people in my room at
Yeah.
night. You know, when I'm in that altered state and I wake up and I'll see something in my room, and then that kind of jars me awake, and then it's gone, and so then you second guess it. But
Yeah.
I would say that's probably a big moment where people would be able to see things, is right when they're waking up or going to sleep, and they're kind of in that altered, more relaxed place. That's probably when they're going to see it. So
Interesting. Yeah. Because I have a friend. She saw some shadow people because we were watching Paranormal Activity with her,
yeah.
and she started. Well, let me tell you about my experience, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So the crystal children, that was the first topic. So was there anything you were seeing on your side with the crystal children? Well,
I think they were calling them, because in my mind, I kept going, the crystal children, isn't that the second wave? You know, like we got the indigo, the crystal, the rainbow, the Doreen Virtue version of our waves of volunteers. So what they were saying with why they were calling them crystal children is because they have the crystalline energy,
oh, okay.
but they're hybrid children. So they've got the mixed DNA. They've got the alien and human DNA mixture and the crystalline energy. So that's why they kept calling them crystal children. Just to clarify, in case anybody else was confused like I was, because I was like, I thought the
Please explain it.
children were like one of the waves of volunteers. What's happening here? But what was your question around that?
Well, in the video that we did, my question was like, are they walking among us right now? That kind
Yeah,
of.
there's several of them. I
Okay.
mean, like thousands and thousands of them that are in adulthood now, that they're seeding into the population, from what I could understand with what they were showing me. So, yeah.
Interesting. And then the other thing that led to it was the third topic was the third eye opening up.
Yeah, that was just showing me, it was kind of cool. It was kind of like going through a wormhole, and only it was the third eye.
Whoa
I was like, whoa.
now.
But that wormhole of the third eye was showing that we can see, you know, we can sit there and imagine, oh, what was it like to have a past life where I was a pirate on a ship, and you're seeing the ship and, you know, these activities, whatever, but you're still in the earth realm. And what they're showing is expand your mind bigger than that, and you're going to start seeing things off planet that you've done, off planet beings that you have been, the abilities that you had in those lifetimes, and how to activate them in this one. So the third eye is actually quite important for us to work on expanding in that way,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing ourselves moving into not being in this, but being out here in what else is there? What else have I been when I wasn't a human or on the earth realm?
Right.
And start asking questions like that, because you're going to start activating some of that memory, and that memory is going to activate some of the know-how of how we're going to get to, you know, telepathy and interdimensional traveling and biolocating and whatever else we want to do. So yeah, it's up to everybody to get that third eye cranked up.
Interesting. So I like how the third eye led to the shadow people part. So that was pretty cool. I was
Yeah.
like, when with ghosts, we talked about the ghost topic. So that was interesting that there is a difference between the two.
Yep.
They're not the same. They're different. So, and that kind of seems right for me too, because I always felt like they were different.
Yeah. Well, you had to explain to me what a shadow person was, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
I had to learn too. I'm like,
about
kind of new to
shadow
me.
person. So yeah, that's interesting.
And I only knew about it for like a few months, you know. Other people have been talking about it for years. I'm like, I never heard about that. So
Yeah,
interesting.
very
It
interesting.
do seem different. So it does seem different. Another cool thing that you brought up was that 2020 vision thing, clarity and everything.
Yeah,
That was interesting. I'm like, ooh, you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. But I will have to say that this year, kind of see more like my path of what to do and how to go about doing it. And then that path is being laid out. So getting closer and closer.
yeah. And what is the big event that's happening in December? Two
21st.
people have brought it up, and it's let me see if I can find what
Yeah,
it's
I wrote it
called.
down right here, December 21st.
Yeah. Somebody wrote to me, uh, where did that go? There it is. I'm going to see what they called it. Um, it is the,
Winter.
sorry, I'm looking at that conversation and laughing at what was said. Okay. This is, why is it so hard to find what we're looking for when we're looking for it? December 20th is what they're saying. I heard today, I heard it was the 21st. Yesterday, the person that wrote me said it was the 20th of December, which I don't know if that's the winter solstice or what that is.
Would it be like
But
horoscope? December 21st?
they're calling it the proper. There's something, the conjunction probe on December 20th, and that's a Sunday. She was inviting me to an event that they're going to hold for the conjunction probe on December 20th. So if anybody really knows what that is and you want to share down below for any of the listeners that would like to know, then yeah, that might be a good spot down below. Put that there.
You think
Anyway,
it's part of the horoscope or zodiac?
yeah, there's something astrologically going on, and it's supposed to be a big event. So apparently it must be, because it felt when they were bringing us into December, they were showing kind of mid-December to third week of December. And then that's what brought that into my mind about the probe, about that, whatever this conjunction probe thing is. There must be something to do with that, what's going on astrologically. But it feels like, it kind of felt like something shifts, you know, it's like a switch is hit or something, and the energy turns. But we have to be doing our work up to that point, you know, whatever's showing up for us, we're dealing with it. We're not running from it. We're not hiding from it. We got to face it.
Mm,
And then when this shows up, that makes that transition into this new energy, like, whoop. But if we haven't been showing up to do our work and we haven't been making those shifts and changes, I'm guessing that that's not going to be so fancy and sweet and instant. So
interesting.
it'll be worth it. Do your work, people. Do your work.
I like the part about writing your book. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people like, that's a
Dang it.
sign. I got to
No. You're gonna be like,
do
dang
it.
it, I gotta buckle down. Yeah. Luckily, I haven't been pushed to write a book, but
I need to, you know, Guardians of Magic was that sci-fi action story about Atlantis, space, and everything. But I do have to finish up the third one. But, you know.
yeah.
But I would like to add, if you do write this book, I would like to do a video collaboration with you about your
Oh,
book.
yeah.
So to help you out as well. So,
Be
and
fascinating.
that's more on my other YouTube channel, Work to Invest, where I interview authors on their book. But if it's too metaphysical, it comes here. On
Yeah. I
QR.
would I would love to hear about that too, but when it's completed, not all the way through it.
There you go. When
Yeah.
it's done,
I'm
done.
not proofreading nothing for you. Anyway, that's funny. But yeah, so that was a surprising amount of information that came through. I was kind of a little bit little bit surprised because when we started this, to be honest, I was really tired and I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do, but
Right.
here we are.
I was a little tired, but I was like, I'll be all right.
Yep.
It was perfect timing. But a ton of information came through. So much, I don't even know if he's going to have any information for next week.
You know we will. Every time. We sit there and think that, and then next thing you know, they're like, here, we got this all lined up for you. There it is.
What other Halloween topics we can bring up?
Yeah, I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, worked out perfect. So,
All right.
all right. Is
Well,
that
thank
it?
you.
I think that was
That's
everything.
all I got.
Don't
That's all I
forget
got.
about October 20th. We're going to
Yeah.
do this live thing again.
Jason's going to dress up.
Oh, yeah. In my blues.
Nice.
So 7 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock
Pacific
Pacific.
and 8 o'clock Eastern. We
Eastern.
really went all over with that.
Yeah, I just picked the easy one.
All right, you guys. Mwah! Thank you
Take
for
care.
being here. Thank you for clicking like. That helps us out a lot with the videos. Click like, thumbs up.
Or smash it like the other YouTubers.
There you go. Yeah. And comment below on your different stories of
Yeah,
what you'd like to share. We'd like to hear them.
Yeah, don't
We'd
forget.
like to hear the little version of them
Yeah.
because that's a lot of reading.
There was a couple of comments you got to put down below. So what Tracie's going to dress up as.
Or Jason. Yeah. Or do I go this way? Because I never know. I always end up on my video, you're on that side, but when you post it, you're on that side. So, Jason. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not going to dress like a winch, Jason. I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Also, tell us about your experience with shadow people. Don't forget that one. Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
If you have any experiences you would like to share.
Yeah.
That would
Or, yeah. The little dog's waking up.
Uh-oh. It's time to roll.
Yeah. I know. It is. Oh, I lost the dog. Come here. Say hi. There we go. Latte's making her appearance.
Well, you know what that means. Time to go.
Time to go. All right, everybody. Bye.
Take care.